Okay. So I'm going to log in as a participant first. So first and foremost, I want to call your attention to this new formatting on the right-hand side of the page. If you recall, the way it used to look was that it was kind of a bulleted list of a bunch of different items. And we did receive some feedback that that could be kind of, overwhelming and unmotivating to a participant to just see a list of bullets. And so we created this kind of tabbed view instead. And so this is the same on each week. There's the watch tab, which of course is the video. And then there's a read tab, which shares which chapters to read, and then the chapter reminder document. And if a participant has the ebook, then they can link directly to that chapter from this bullet here. The next tab is a listen tab, and that's the audio lecturettes. And then there's a review tab, which has kind of the tools and the information that are found in the book that are not kind of part of the book chapters. So it's like the self-tests, the walking plans, the appendices, and those types of things. So we're hoping that, reformatting it just makes it a little bit more attractive to people, and then kind of helps lead them through the process of what to do each week. Any questions about that? Okay. So the other thing is that we added in the option, if participants want to set goals related to the stretching and strengthening exercises. So if, obviously the focus of Walk with Ease is really to increase participants' walking days and minutes. But, the stretching and strengthening is a piece of the program as well, especially the stretching piece, since it's part of that 5-step walking pattern. So we did want to include an opportunity in here for them to set goals related to that. They are included here for each week on this left-hand side of the screen, but they are not included in the graph at the bottom. But they will be able to see if they're kind of accomplishing their goals just by, let me click to week 2. So if they had set their goals for the previous week, they would see them up here as well, just like they do for the walking. Similar to the walking, they can change from a weekly to a daily view if they want to do it that way as well.
I had a quick question on are the minutes supposed to be for minutes per day or minutes per week? Because that might be good to specify on there. If this is Greg.
Yeah. So this is weekly. So it's a weekly walking weekly. And then if they change to daily, then it'll be daily.
Yeah, I meant up for the goal part because it doesn't say weekly there, because a person would say days, and then that's kind of intuitive, but the minutes, they might think, is that minutes per walk or minutes per week? I just thought.
Okay. So change that for walking goals for next week. Where do you think put it?
I'm just curious if others would find that confusing, but it could be days per week, and minutes. The minutes per week is the challenging one. So they should be able to specify either minutes per week or minutes per day, but I guess per week makes more sense, just that they know they're going to add up those total minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so they could walk and say they're going to walk 3 times a week for 30 minutes, and then they need to know to put in 90 minutes or. So I just thought that could be specified.
So change this to minutes per week.
Maybe, if others agree.
Okay.
This is Erin from Minnesota. I think that would be helpful too. I mean, it seems self-explanatory, but however you can spell it out as exactly as possible is probably good.
Okay, change minutes to minutes, total minutes next week, total minutes. Per week.
'Cause it's sort of like they can see goals for next week, and then it's like you're saying, because if I'm looking at this correctly, it's saying like walking goals, days, how many days, and then is it how many minutes per day?
Mhm, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That
So
was,
like,
that
yeah,
was the same confusion for me. Yeah.
it makes sense that that's what it would be, but I could see, yeah, maybe people would be filling it out and saying, okay, am I saying how many minutes I want for the week, or am I saying how many minutes I want for the days next to it?
Yeah, great. So if I put total minutes per week, does that work
Sure.
here?
Yeah.
I think
I think-
so. Yeah. I
yeah.
guess it just, I can't remember if there's like, if it's better to do by day or by week, but
I think
yeah.
that the tracking can help by day, but if we as long as they know that's total minutes per week, then they could say, oh, I went for a longer one on Monday and now I only have to do 10 minutes on Tuesday. And so they can, plan for the week. And then whatever they end up doing, they log later is their actual minutes. So I think, yeah, total
Right.
minutes per week would be helpful just to specify.
Okay, that's easy.
This is Erin again too. I will just say I really like the layout that you've changed here with the watch, read, listen.
Mhm.
That will be really user friendly.
Oh, good. I hope so. Definitely let us know as you or if you start to hear from people that they like that or they dislike it. As you all know, we're kind of building the plane as we fly it, so to speak. We don't have a lot of funding to kind of implement something, test it, change it, implement it, test it, change it. So whatever feedback you hear is helpful to us. So then just the other thing is that we have the ability to log the steps. We didn't include steps as a goal for the following week. It was just kind of a tracking backwards type of thing. But what do you all think? Should that be like, should we have a goal for next week be total steps for the week? Or should we just leave it off of the goal?
Yeah, steps are probably better in terms of thinking about a day. Like, so if that's built into that calendar entry, that'd be handy. But it is hard, I think, for people to think of steps per week. That's just, but if it's in the diary, that'd be great.
Okay. Steps. So move it above the daily diary and have it kind of more, move the steps up above this blue
Maybe,
button.
yeah.
Okay.
I think people think about steps as a daily thing, like steps per day. I mean, that's where the whole 10,000 thing came out, or, people, even though that number is mythical, but it just gives people a way to think about their day.
Yep.
I agree. Is there an opportunity to leave the steps as optional? I'm also thinking from an inclusivity perspective. I don't want to make it inaccessible for folks that may not be conventional walkers.
I can certainly look at that.
Yeah, maybe that could be toggled as, the admin person could turn it on, or they could hide that if they want, or something.
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. So then the other thing that we added is an additional page up at the top, and this is a optional page that you don't have to enable from an administrator standpoint. But I will show you when we go on to the administrator view of things, how to add this if you would like it. So for example, we just put in our kind of the welcome page important reminders. They view this, all these steps after they complete the registration process, but then unless they save it or print it, they don't have access to that page again. So we just put it right here onto this custom page, but you can use this page for anything. I think Dr. Welk, you were talking about maybe using it as like a class 0, you know, something to, you can input links in it, you can input images, links to videos, to external documents and resources, that kind of thing. So if you have a number of resources related to your Walk with Ease program, or other programming you want them to know about, you can put it into this custom page up here. So I'll show you how to set that up from the admin view in just a minute. I'll also go through just doing the custom welcome page. I was noticing when I was visiting all of your kind of landing pages for your portals that not many of you had set up a welcome page. So I just wanted to walk through that again really quick to make sure that you know how to do that, because I think it is a really nice way to customize your portal. I completely understand if it's not something you want to use, but I just wanted to make sure that you know how to use it. So I'm going to go ahead and log out of this real quick, and then I'm going to log in as an administrator. So this is going to be our OA Action Alliance example here. So for the welcome page editor, so this is the first page that someone sees when they come to your portal. This is the example of what ours looks like. So you just go to Manage, Welcome Page Editor, and then we basically created all of this in a Word document and then pasted it in here. And you can choose to have it inherit the size that was in your document, or you can adjust the different, font sizes here, either using a heading or the actual size that you would like to change it. You can add a picture as long as it's on an existing website. So we do not have the ability to house your images on our server, but you can embed them from an existing website. So you would just click on the photo and then you would paste the image address. So I'll do an example here. If I go to the OA Action Alliance website, and I go to prevent OA. I want to go there, and I find an image that I want. So if I right click on that, I right click on this image right here, and I do copy image address right here. And then I go back to that welcome page, and I put my cursor on the screen where I want it to be. And I click on this little icon right here that looks like a photo. And I paste that link that I copied right here, and it will insert it into the page. And then you can, click on it and center it, drag it, make it bigger. Does that make sense to folks?
Yep, looks good.
Okay, so you just need to make sure if you've set it up that you have it enabled. Okay, so right here is a box. So just make sure that you enable that welcome screen and you save it. And then it'll show up for your participants when they go to your landing page. And then the custom page editor is very much the same. You just go to manage and you click on custom page instead. Right here, you can name give your title or give your custom page a title. So we have it as important reminders, but it could be class 0. It could be walking tips. It could be, resources for you, whatever you want it to be, but it's the same way for that custom page. You can cut and paste all your text into it, and then you can add an image from an existing website if you would like to. You can also, of course, select some text and link to an external document or something as well. Any questions about that? Thanks for the thumbs up, Caitlin. Okay, and so then the next thing I wanted to share with you is this walking videos edit. So walking videos editor right here under manage. As you know, we have the videos that the cooperative extension team shared with us. They partnered with the Arthritis Foundation to create these videos. But we do recognize that some of you may have your own videos that you would like to link to, or you're creating new videos. And you can simply replace these videos by replacing the URL under each week. So if you, and you would have to have them in YouTube, just to let you know that. So have your videos in YouTube, and then you want to embed the URL. So when you are looking at YouTube, you don't want to just copy and paste the URL that's in your browser. You want to select the embed URL from YouTube, and it's a different link. So you want to make sure that you have that there. And it says, see information at the top of the page. If the video does not appear in the preview, something isn't quite right. So this is a link to how to find embedded URL on YouTube. Okay. Any questions about all those features? Nothing? Wow. Okay. So I just wanted to also give you a brief update about the Camine con Gusto pilot that I mentioned during our call last year at the end of the year. I think our call was at the beginning of November, and we were just launching a Camine con Gusto pilot with our OA Action Alliance. And we were hoping to get at least 60 people to register and complete both the baseline and the post-program survey. We ended up, I think we ended up with around 180 people registering for the pilot. And we are still waiting on a good chunk of those people to actually complete the 6 weeks of the program. It should be actually this week, last week and this week. Hopefully we're getting the bulk of those people completing it. We want at least 60 people to complete the post-program survey, because we're really trying to learn about kind of the feasibility of using this portal in the Spanish-speaking population. One of the things that we don't currently have in the Spanish portal, but we will have probably this week, is those videos. So the videos are not available in Spanish yet, but they will be by the end of the week. So that's something we'll be curious to, see if anyone comments that they would like videos, or they would like, shorter content, or they would like, easier, snippets of information or audio or that kind of thing. So we'll be kind of downloading all that data and analyzing it in February, and I'll be able to share kind of our findings with you on a high level, hopefully early March, because we are using that data to help us write a new proposal to do some additional work on reaching out to Spanish-speaking populations with Camina con Gusto and the portal and some additional kind of wraparound services. So we'll be excited to share that with you. The thing that is really in the works right now, that has been in the works for quite a few months, is a really robust notification system. So as you all know, we are currently, our portal links to MailChimp. So all of the weekly email engagement campaigns are sent via MailChimp. And the trigger for each of those email campaigns is a participant logging in and starting the program. So that triggers the very first email. And you know, so everything is built in MailChimp, linked with that one starting trigger. Our notification system in the portal is going to be much more robust. So all of you will have the ability to either use a template for your emails or completely customize your emails on your own within your own portal. And then you'll also be able to designate different enhanced groups to get different emails. You'll also be able to select specific days you want an email to be sent out. So instead of having the trigger being someone clicking the start button, you can send emails on specific dates. So if you have a cohort all starting, say on March 1st, you will be able to make sure that they get the email on March 1st and not based on when they started the program. There's also going to be a kind of a coach level of administration. So right now there's kind of super users, which is us at the OA Action Alliance. And then there's the administrators, which is all of you as portal partners. So you have access to all your data and all the participants. We are going to put another level within that so that you can designate certain people as coaches, and they will be able to reach out to individuals or entire enhanced groups to communicate with them either via email or texting. And they'll be able to kind of view those participants' walking data, not their health data, registration data, post-program data, but all their walking data, so that they can provide kind of that coach assistance type of activity within the portal. Sarah started working on that. Our developer started working on that in October, and she kind of got waylaid with some of these updates that we just shared with you today, with the custom page and the tracking and the ability to adjust the videos and that kind of thing. And so now she's back on the notification system. I'm meeting with her today, and I should have a good idea of kind of when that notification system will be in place. Any questions about that? Chat. Let's see. Will administrators be able to connect leaders with specific groups so they're only accessing participants? Yes, exactly, Adam. They will only be accessing their own participants and only their walking data, not their health data. I'm sorry, I'm going back through these. Shanetta, no, the CCG pilot is closed, so we're no longer accepting any more participants. Still working on implementing a way for participants to add their walking minutes via text. Yes, so Isla, that is one of the things that is going to be in this notification system. And Greg had to log off. Yes, so one of the things with the texting is that we're working on building out a system. So the system so that you can trigger a text to your participants that says, did you walk this week? And if they say yes, then it can say, how many minutes did you walk this week? Or how many days did you walk this week? And when the participant responds to that text, it will populate the portal so that someone doesn't have to actually log into the portal to log those days and minutes. Will leaders be able to access name and contact information in addition to the walking minutes? Yes, they will be able to have contact information, just not the health information. Let's see what else. A link to Fitbit or an Apple Watch device. We have talked about that. And it's an option. We did do some kind of with the Spanish speaking population. We, our colleague Sandra Soto did some data collection where people were using a Fitbit, and it wasn't as helpful as anticipated to have a Fitbit or Apple Watch or that kind of thing. So it is on our wish list. It's something we're talking about. We just don't have a timeline on that yet. Additional cost for the text feature? No additional cost. It's all being added in. Any other questions? It's fine for you guys to use the chat. Okay. The next thing I wanted to jump down to was wish list items. As you all know, we keep a list, kind of a running list of ideas. We do try and move through this wish list as things become really clear to us that it's something that, you know, more than just one portal partner needs. As you all know, that we kind of run things on a shoestring budget around here. So we have to pick and choose what we are able to do within the portal. So those items that really resonate across partners is where we tend to use our resources. So are there any wish list items that have come up? And you can type them in the chat or just holler them out. Okay. Well, if you come up with any, just email them to me. I'm always, I will always have open ears, and our developer is really wonderful. We come to her with lots of ideas, and she's able to tell us, if they can be done and how and for how much and all of that. So just let me know.
Hi, Serena. This is Mona. Can you
Hi,
hear
Mona.
me?
Yep.
So I don't know if you have mentioned this already, and please forgive me for if you're repeating yourself.
Yeah.
So 2 questions. Will you all be able to create an app, a Walk With These app that also be able to collectively connect with as you mentioned, the Apple, like an Apple Watch or some type of smartwatch device to count their steps?
Mm-hmm. We have talked about doing an app in the past, and We've also had experience in app development in some other areas of our OA Action Alliance work, and we're still trying to determine whether or not it's kind of the cost effectiveness of it, or the ROI, the return on investment. So I'm not saying no, but I'm not saying that we have the funding and the ability to do it right now, but we have definitely heard that that might be helpful to some people. Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I see Jenny would love to be able to designate a start date for participants. Yes, so that's one of the things that's going to be in the notification system. So you'll be able to set a start date for all of your participants for one date. Any other questions or wish list ideas?
Arena, can I ask about the re-registering or re-returning users?
Yeah.
And I know we had talked about this a while back when I had first kind of tested it out and realized that I had lost access to the ebook. And I just went through to look at it. And when you're returning or re-registering, you have to click an option either for a new book or the ebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't sure if I choose the ebook again, like, do I get charged again for using the ebook again? Or is there another option to kind of put, like, I already have a physical copy of the book, or I'm a returning user and I have access to the ebook? Or is that what that means when it has the ebook option there?
Yeah, that's what it means. But if it's not clear, then we probably need to adjust that. And I'll log in just now so people know what we're talking about. So if you are a participant who has completed the program in the past and wants to do the program again, you can just click on Start Walk with Ease again. And it populates your information, and you're asked if is this the right information? Is this information still correct? So you can adjust it if you want to. And then you choose a group. And so this is based on so if you're from New Hampshire, this is going to be a New Hampshire portal. So there's not an opportunity to switch to a different portal, a different portal partner. So if somebody logged in with the OA Action Alliance, they're going to stay in the OA Action Alliance. They can't switch over to New Hampshire unless they want to register with a completely different email. So let's see here. So you choose the group. We only have a self-directed available. Do you still have a book, or will you need another one? I would like a print book, access to the ebook. So
I guess it would be helpful if it said something, I would like to continue using my ebook in the portal, or also having an option like, I already have a print book and don't need another one. I guess when I looked at this, those are the only two options. So if someone had a print book and was reusing it, they wouldn't have an option to.
Yep. Okay, so do you still have so I would like a print book. I would like the ebook, or I already have a book. Is that good, or?
I think for me, I feel like or if you did the other options, like, I still have a print book / would like to continue using my ebook, something like that.
Okay.
Because when I went, I was like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna like check me off as like another ebook instead of already being in my account.
Yeah. I'm just writing this down. An ebook or print book. And then the second option would be So we wanted people to be able to, if they had an ebook and they're registering again, and now like say they didn't have the option for a print book, but now a print book is available. We wanted them to have the option to get a book again. So is it okay to then leave, I would like a print book? So it would be, I still have an ebook / print book, or I would like a print book if you all have it, you know, and this would be based on your inventory. Or then the third option would be, I would like an ebook. Because maybe they had a print book and now they want an ebook.
I would see what others are thinking. I think I go back, I like the idea of like they could have another option, but the other part of me that's managing a budget, which knows I don't, to save the price of the book or would be helpful, but I don't know what others are thinking of what type of options they would like to give.
Maybe it's better to say, do you still have a book? Yes or no. And if they say no, then you give them the option of print or ebook.
I think that would work. I think, yeah, as long as if someone had previously chosen the ebook and then they log back in and they still have access to it, as long as that's still there too, that would be helpful. Because I know the first time when we first did this, when I rejoined, I didn't have my ebook anymore. But as long as if we do that and then it, you know, they say yes and then they continue registering and their ebook's still in there, I think that works. But I also think that's helpful for those people that have print books because they can just answer, yes, I already do, and continue. Or if they don't, you know, they're returning after a while and they don't have that book, they can get that option. I like that option of what you just mentioned.
Okay. So, okay. Already. We might have to add some language in here, like, if you had an ebook, you will still have an ebook. You know, so the idea now is that if you have an ebook, you will always have that ebook. So, okay. I'll work with the team on that and see what we can do to make that more clear. If anyone has any ideas you want to shoot my way after this call, that would be great, just to clarify this language, make it really, really clear.
Thanks, Serena.
Thank you. Okay, I see Adam. Does the OA Action Alliance have any method to aggregate wish list ideas and allow partners to vote on what ones they would want? This way you could pick your focus areas a little easier. Not at this time, we don't. It's been pretty clear so far what we want to spend our funds on, and what we need to spend our funding on. But you know, that's something we'll keep in mind in the future, Adam, for sure. If we all of a sudden are flush with cash and are able to, you know, do a bunch of things or something. So thank you. Thanks for the idea. Okay, I want to go ahead and get back to our sharing because we only have about 15 minutes left, and we had some questions come in from Caitlin in New York. So Caitlin, I'll go ahead and just turn it over to you, and you can kind of talk about how talk about these couple questions that came up.
Sure. So we have a new cohort of YMCAs to deliver Walk with Ease, one of which will be offering Enhanced. And this person has already done Enhanced before and used the portal, but is doing so at a different Y now, and just had some follow-up questions. So one of the questions she posed when I was onboarding her into the portal and kind of going over recent updates is how to provide support for any of her participants who might be having a hard time logging in, In the past, what we've done is Serena has offered to lend her email for any of those people who have had difficulty. So she was just checking to see if that would be the best route to go this time around. I'm thinking that it would be better both on Serena's end and probably everyone else if they just use the I forgot my password option when on that login page, or otherwise just like working with the leader if maybe the issue is they forgot the web address, that they can provide that again. But I wasn't sure if anyone else had a different method of helping out participants who are having a hard time logging in.
Mhm. Has anyone else dealt with this or have any ideas?
Hi, this is Mona in Virginia.
Mhm.
So we recently had a large cohort that registered for one of our walking initiatives in Virginia, and there was some feedback where they had a difficulty with logging in um, into their portal and getting established. So that's one of my concerns too. So I guess it'd be great to know what can be there, what can, can take place. I wonder if there like a video that can be watched. I don't know if it's that can be established to help with that.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think on my end, when I've helped out when this has happened before, is sometimes someone has multiple email addresses. So if the leader can let me know who's having a hard time logging in, I can log in on my end and see which email they used. So
Mhm.
that's one step I've taken in the past.
Mhm.
It's a little bit of a roundabout way, but typically it yields the result you're looking for.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Anyone else have suggestions? On our welcome page, we try and give really clear directions to people about what they're going to be asked to do. You must complete step 1 and step 2 to be fully registered. And we of course link to the welcome video and the tutorial, which if you don't have the links to those, I can provide them. There is a link on all of your registration pages to a welcome video that briefly talks about the 3 different steps and kind of shows screenshots of going through that. But I can certainly come up with a different video or a different, maybe it's even just a link to handout that provides more direction right here. I mean, I'm open to ideas of things that I can do that you all will think will help people. I just don't want to go, building a bunch of resources that aren't going to be helpful. So if you all can provide me with some of the information for me to go on, that would be great.
I think maybe if you had like, I can't think of what you actually call it. The only thing that's coming to mind is an iCard, like a little symbol that you can hover over if you have more information, and maybe in there it could embed a link to that would open up a new tab that said like, here's more information about how to reset your password if you're having trouble or something like that.
Mhm. Okay, so maybe on this page? Right here?
Yeah, so like by the forgot your password, have something in the right corner of that
Mhm.
that could open up.
Okay. Okay.
It's hard because like on my end, like from my perspective, it seems straightforward, but it's not straightforward for everyone.
Yeah, no, I get it for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Well, if anyone ever hears of anything like, they say, well, I see that forgot your password, but what happens if I click there? What does that mean? What does that do? So for this, it'll trigger an email to them, and then they'll get a link to reset their password, to put in a new password, and it'll have to have the same, character limits and everything as we currently require. And then they'll be able to log in with that new password. So they won't have to try and like link to anything, then like insert a code or anything like that. They're not going to get another email that says, confirm and all of that. So they'll get one email that says, please reset your password, and they'll be able to, click on that link, reset their password, and they should be able to log in. So if I can put all of that into like you said, like an iCard or something like that, Caitlin.
Okay.
Okay. Well, if anyone else comes up with any other ideas with that, that would be great. And then Caitlin, you had another question about incentives.
Yeah, so this YMCA was interested in learning if anyone offering the enhanced format has any ideas of incentives. So particularly trying to incentivize people completing the full program and then the post survey in the portal. It can be very difficult to get people to go back and fill that out.
Mhm.
So if maybe those incentives look different than an in-person Walk with Ease program, and also how you get those incentives out. So like if you're mailing them to participants, or maybe if it's a different type of incentive, it's just something they get digitally, like a digital gift card or something like that. So yeah, just interested in seeing what other people have done for incentives for Enhance specifically.
Mhm. I know from our perspective at the OA Action Alliance, we did for the first year, we did everyone who completes the post-program survey within a month gets entered into a monthly drawing for an Amazon gift card, and we sent them the Amazon gift cards digitally. And that was somewhat successful, not entirely, but somewhat. We currently hover around about a 10% response rate to our post-program surveys.
That's helpful. Thanks.
Anyone else done anything? See something in the chat. We have access to participants' physical addresses. Yes, you can, Mona. We just have a document that you need to sign to have that. So if you want all of your identifiable data, just let us know, and we have a data use agreement. Just, saying kind of what you have access to and how you'll use it and that kind of thing. So yes.
Thank you, Serena.
Yeah, sure. Any other ideas for Caitlin? Well, maybe we can circle back on this on the next call, Caitlin. And if the Y ends up trying anything, you can let us know. Or if anyone else ends up trying anything in between now and then, we can chat about that. I think that would be great.
Sounds good.
Thank you. How about anyone else? Anyone else have any questions for the group? Or hot news they want to share? Shanetta, if someone does a group within the portal, can they see the participants' weekly results, or will that information come from me as an admin? So the admin can see the weekly activities of all the participants. And then we will have the ability for the admins to assign a coach to a group. And or to individuals. And so then at that point, the coach will be able to see the weekly walking, but participants themselves cannot see each other's activities. Does that answer your question, Shanetta? Yeah, okay. So right now, as the system works right now, you'd have to send walking reports to, like if you had a group, like for instance, a YMCA that was doing an enhanced group and they have, a coach or someone who's leading it, or if they've got a leader, then you can send them walking reports on a weekly basis. But soon they'll have the ability to log in and see that on their own. Okay. Going once, going twice. All right. Well, we will reconvene in May, on May 8th at noon. Please go ahead and save the date. I'll also send out a calendar invitation to save that, that time for our next call. I know this happened last time. Is that a holiday for anyone? Just checking so we can move it now. I don't think it is, but I'm not very in tune with those things. So for right now, just go ahead and save Monday, May 8th at noon Eastern time. And definitely let me know if you've got any items for the agenda or any questions or any wish list things to add. And we'll definitely keep you posted over the coming weeks about the notification system. I'll probably put together a video tutorial on how to work that, but I might have to go ahead and set up an additional kind of training before May to go through that new notification system, because it's probably going to be pretty complicated, and just based on the conversations I've had with our developer, it's such a robust system that it might take us all a little time to get used to. So, all right, everyone. Well, I hope you have a healthy and happy week, and just reach out to me if you need anything. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good one.
You too.